I do not know what anything is for. You definitely can't say that these are not intense. I know all these lessons, they're really diving in. They're really getting in there. And this is, in joint with the last one, that I do not perceive my own best interest, that I do not know what anything is for, is... I mean, if you're not really getting into these lessons and applying them and trying to understand what they're saying, it's likely you'll be lost really at this one. This is it. Well, maybe a little sooner. But to say that I do not know what anything is for is rather interesting. And they use this example here about the telephone. You know what a telephone is for, but you don't know why you want to contact the person. And this is because what this is actually talking about is more eternal purpose or divine purpose. And that your reason for being in the world has more of a divine purpose. And that you are an eternal being. And that you are here for the fulfillment of a divine purpose that far expands telephones, far expands really your little life. And so this is wanting you to recognize that it's not about personal interests. It's not about little goals within yourself. It's okay to have those, but you don't always understand why you have those. You don't understand, like we like to project our guilt. A lot of students like to make this, oh, I'm not allowed to have personal interests. It's like, no, you've never had personal interests. It's not that you shouldn't. It's that you can't. You've never had personal interests. You don't have a person. And so it comes hand in hand with that misunderstanding. Well, I obviously have a person, misunderstanding. So I obviously have personal interests, right? So they go hand in hand, right? So you don't really see reality. But that's okay. You don't have to see reality, because guess what? The reason you see yourself as a person and the reason you see yourself with personal interests is a divine purpose. That there is a whole grand scheme of things that far exceeds beyond our little tiny perceptions of our tiny selves, persons. Peace. And that this is far bigger. Okay, so we want to really, in this process, we're learning to break down our psyche, break down our what we believe is our little independent self, so that we can just start to recognize what's outside of this box, right? We're just breaking down this box and to recognize it's a circle, right? No, just to recognize outside of this box. You can't, if you say, I'm the box, I'm always the box, everything's the box, we got a box, everybody's a box, okay, only a box, oh, I'll break out of this box for another box, I got another box, got another box. No, you got to break out of the box, and that's what this is about. So just like all of these lessons are really attempting, if you're really bringing to heart that this is about trying to get you out of your independent little person perspective. That's the box, okay? So if you're getting out of your independent personal self, you start to recognize that there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger reasons. And you might just imagine different variations of what a bigger picture is. You know, even society's bigger picture, or the world's bigger picture, or even just your hometown's bigger picture, or the responsibility of your family or your group of friends. There's a bigger flow of it, and it's not just independent personal interests. Now, this is actually an interesting one, because a lot of people in the course community use this to to bring about course communities. And I love communities. I love working together and being close together, like-minded interest people. And I would as well understand that a whole community can be working together. You have let's have a common goal. We want our own best interests. That's what we want. Everything's for our own best interest. And you use and can build communities off of this. But just recognize also that it's not about not having personal interests. It's about recognizing you never had personal interests. So it also goes kind of a gray area between cults that say you're not allowed to have personal interests and you have to go for the group's perspective of your goal. You have to be about the big picture of the community, So you see that a lot of misunderstanding that you're not allowed to have personal perspective. And that's a big misunderstanding, I say. That this world has us as unique for a reason. And it is about coming together and learning that big picture. So the big picture is essentially, it's for your best interests. And this unifies your every goal. So you're like, oh, this goes against my goals and this goes for my goals. But if we just recognize this is for my best interests and this is for my best interests and this is for my best interests, and it changes my goals, changes my direction in life, changes everything, and I'm going all over the place, and I'm going a different direction than I thought I wanted to. I wanted to graduate this way, and I end up going this way. It's for your best interests. And so if you grasp that concept about regardless of your personal interests, it's always for your best interests, then it naturally unifies all of your goals, all of your misunderstandings and your understandings, and just puts it together into that sense of, oh, this regardless of what's happening, it's always for my best interest. It's always a benefit. It's always good. Something, I don't know what this thing's for. I don't know what that's for. I don't know what anything's for. Blah. So we break out of our little box of saying, I know what this is for, and this is what I need. Give me what I need, or I'm gonna kill you. So it gets a little crazy. It gets a little crazy with personal interests. Even just at the grocery store. My wife works at the grocery store, and she has people with attitudes all the time. Why don't you have this? And blah, blah, blah. If we could just grasp that this is for your best interest, the fact that you might not get the product you want, or the junk food that you're missing so much, or something, that it's all going to work out, then we can recognize this is all about the lessons again. It's about eternal perspective. Recognizing that lessons here on earth, there's something to learn, something to grasp in all this, and that we unify this whole experience from, what I think is little lessons. This is all about a big lesson.